So today I'm going to go over some math that you're missing. So we'll do a couple lessons and then I'll stop it and then I'll post the next couple lessons and the same thing and I'll post it for the week. So I'm going to do lesson 3 and 4 with you. I know that this was for Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you completely understand it, you can just watch this and then be done. But if you don't, please make sure that you watch this and fix your work so that you are not behind when you come back from school, okay? So hands-on just means a picture. So we are going to model fraction multiplication. So this is modeling a fraction times a whole number using repeated addition. So we're going to have 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3. So we have 3 1/3, and that's where we get that number. So the first thing that you want to look at is your denominator. We have 3. So we're going to draw a box and separate it into 3 parts. The numerator is going to tell us how many we are going to shade in. So we have 1. So we're just going to shade in 1 of these, okay? But we have to do it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And then what they say is to add these shaded parts together. So we have 1, 2, 3. And what do we have here? We have 1 whole. And the reason we have 1 whole is because we have 3 parts to a whole. And that's what our denominator is telling us, okay? So that's all that this picture is kind of showing. So I'm going to flip the page and show you the next one. So now we have 2 times 3/4. So we are going to do 4 sections and our boxes because that's our denominator. So we're going to separate this into 4s. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And we're going to do that 2 times. So we have 2 of these. Now we're going to shade in whatever the numerator is telling us for each. So we're going to shade in 3 sections. Okay? Now what they're saying is that we're going to not have only 1 whole. We're going to have 1 whole and something else. So we still need to separate this into 4s because that's what our numerator is telling us. Or denominator, denominator. So how many do we have shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to shade. So I have 1 whole shaded, so that's my whole. And then I have how many? So I have 1, 2 out of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or what our denominator is. And all we're going to do is simplify, and we're going to make it 1 and 1/2 because 2 and 4 can both be divided by 2. Okay? That is it for that lesson. So we'll do one together, and then hopefully if you have any questions, you can let me know. But hopefully you can finish this on your own, okay? So we have 4 times 1/2. So we're going to do 1/2 4 times. So we're going to have our wholes. That's what a box is. We're going to separate it into 2 parts, which they did. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And we have it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to shade 1 out of 2 for each one. Now we're going to find out how many we have shaded total. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, our wholes are separated by their 2s, okay? So our denominator tells us how many parts are to that whole. So I have 1 whole, 2 wholes. So my answer is just 2, okay? Now, if you didn't do this yet, pause the video, finish the work, and then when you're done, please do the homework, and then start again with me right here. Okay, so now hopefully you finished that lesson and you're going to do this lesson with me. So this is multiplying whole numbers and fractions. So what you see is that you can write a whole number as a fraction. Any whole number is a number over 1. So if I have the whole number 6, I'm going to write it as 6 over 1. If I have the whole number 15, all I do is write it 15 over 1. Okay, so any whole number is a fraction as the number over 1. So let's look at the first example. We have, wild parrots spend 1/6 of the day looking for food. How many hours a day does a parrot spend looking for food? So we have to know there are 24 hours in a day. So what we're going to do, and I want you to look over here at my work rather than the book, 1/6 times 24. When you are writing this out, please do not write this whole number huge. We used to write it huge for a mixed number. We used to write it like that. We don't want to do that. That's not right. When we're multiplying by a whole number, we're going to write it as a numerator because we're going to put it over 1. Okay? Now, if you look at your book, it tells you to multiply straight across, but I don't want you to do that right now, okay? Because they haven't taught you this step yet, but I'm going to teach it to you early. So what you're going to do is you're going to look diagonally from both of these, and you're going to see if you can divide something by both of these numbers. So let me explain what that means. So we have 1 times 1, or I'm sorry, just 1 and 1. Don't look at the times. 1 and 1. Can we divide anything by both these numbers? No, because they're prime numbers. We have 6 and 24. We can divide both of these by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. So I'm going to cross this off and I'm going to put a 1. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So I'm going to cross that off and put a 4. And then I'm going to put my equal sign. Now what I'm going to do is multiply straight across. Okay? So I have 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. And this is not how we keep the fraction, because any whole number over 1 is just the number at the top. So our answer is just 4. Okay? Now, if you choose to not do it this way and you just choose to multiply straight across, you're going to get an answer of 24/6. And you're going to have to take this improper fraction and turn it into a mixed number or whole number, whatever it may be. So I'm going to say, how many times does 6 go into 24? The answer is 4. There is none left over, so my answer would just be 4. Okay, so either way. We'll do one more. So we have 2 times 4/5. So I'm always rewrite the problem. And I'm rewriting 2 with a denominator of 1. Okay? So I'm going to look across. Can I divide anything by 2 and 5? Any number be divided by both of these? And the answer is no. Okay? 4 and 1, the answer is no. So what I'm going to do is just multiply across. So 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 5 is 5. Now I have an improper fraction and I have to turn it into a mixed number. So how many times can 5 go into 8? 1 times. I keep my denominator, and 1 times 5 is 5, so I'm going to take 8 minus 5 and give me 3 left over. So my answer is 1 3/5. Okay? It does say in your book estimate. You do not have to estimate. We are not estimating. So when it says that, just cross it off. We are just going to solve it. Okay? If you have any questions, please send me a message. But otherwise, when you're done, you can watch the next 2 lessons.